Thank you for listening to another episode of Shut Up and Watch the Movie, the only movie podcast to ever exist.
If you guys like listening to us, make sure you subscribe and share with your friends. We really appreciate it.
All right, enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Happy 2025 and welcome back to Shut Up and Watch the Movie, your favorite movie podcast. I'm Christina.
I'm Tyson.
And each week we show each other a movie and we have very different tastes. So sometimes we don't like it. Sometimes we do.
We're going to get really into it.
We'll have fun no matter what.
I'm going to pull up some facts and figures. Christina hates it, but I'm going to pull them up anyway.
I do hate it. Today I'm probably going to be singing a little bit because we watched High School Musical.
Oh boy.
Woo!
Oh boy.
I made Tyson watch it. But before we get into that, we have a little preview segment we like to do.
Oh yeah, we do the tiny movie corner.
Teeny tiny little itsy bitsy.
But before, should we mention?
So there is
fires?
a bit of an elephant in a room. So we are located in LA. Obviously, There's fires going on.
What a crazy past week.
It's been a crazy week.
At the time we're recording this, it's mostly taken care of, I think. Look, okay, both mountains are still burning, right? The one in Palisades and the one...
It's very much an ongoing
near
situation.
Pasadena. But, thankfully we were not terribly affected. We did have to evacuate, but we came back now. And I guess we're just waiting to see what's going on. The fires are still burning.
Try and donate and reach out if you can.
Yeah, we're
going to try and volunteer.
I'm going to find some donating links, and we can put them up whenever you do the Instagram post.
Yes. Thank you to everyone that reached out to us, too.
Of course. But we're safe, and we're here, and we're ready to podcast.
We're back in the closet. Part of the reason we wanted to bring this up, we were hoping to get this episode out a little sooner, and then, so we had to leave for a few days.
Yeah, it's all right.
We're back now.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess
now that we've addressed that.
Teeny tiny movie corner.
Yeah, you can go first, because I made you watch the movie this week.
All right. So technically, I just saw this over the break we had, not necessarily within the past week. I saw Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Oh my god.
What?
I didn't think that's the movie you were going to drop.
What else could I have picked?
I don't, a lot. I don't know. Just go ahead, though. Say your piece.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3. What to say that hasn't already been said about this amazing movie? It starts up and one of the Lonely Island guys is there.
Which one?
The one that looks like a little boy.
Yorma Taccone?
Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
And
he's the one that looks like a little boy.
He's got a beard and he's in charge of the secret organization that's holding Shadow hostage in a cryogenic freezing.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so I've seen the other two Sonic movies. Look, I'm a gamer. I'll say it loud and proud. I do enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog from time to time as a fun little platformer.
You know what? It's fine.
I'm not
my thing, personally.
I'm not a rabid Sonic fan like a lot of people, or I don't know.
You're a rabid Shadow fan, though.
I do love Shadow the Hedgehog because he's the cool, edgy version of Sonic. He curses. He uses guns. He's half the child of a space alien, half genetic organism created to be Sonic's perfect foil.
Sure.
He was best friends with Maria, a little girl who died horribly. That's his tragic backstory.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the movie goes into it.
Wow.
No, and she gets, I guess, spoiler alert, she gets gunned down in the movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
And it's voiced by Keanu Reeves. Anyway, I thought it was a great time. What's interesting about these movies, and I seem to be in the minority opinion, you know how James Marsden is in them?
Yes.
I am so much more interested in whatever he's doing in all three of these movies than the Sonic stuff.
Oh, really? That is interesting.
This is the minority opinion because most people are like, give us more Sonic. Why do you keep focusing on the
Sonic.
humans? It's like Godzilla fans when they're like, why do you have human characters? Let's watch the Godzilla fight.
Right.
But it's...
But you like James Marsden.
I don't know. He's likable.
He is generally, I have not seen any Sonic the Hedgehog. Listen, I know I sound like I'm speaking down on it. I don't like to judge movies I haven't seen. I haven't seen any of them, so I don't want to... Oh, Tyson just
I just took a sip of Pepsi and it spilled all over me.
I haven't seen any of them. I will say, generally speaking, I like James Marsden a lot. Do you need a...
No, you know what? We're just going to power through it.
Okay.
I'm currently sitting in a puddle of Pepsi, but we're not going to stop because...
As long as it's not on my closet floor.
It's not. It's
great.
Entirely on me.
Then it doesn't matter.
It's entirely on me. Okay. Yeah, but look, he's funny in these movies, and I like...
James Marsden.
I don't know
He's
who
cool.
the actress is, but I like whoever plays his wife, and I don't know, they're just fun and engaging, but the Sonic stuff is all right, too.
I would hope so, considering
they're
it's
going
a Sonic
fast.
movie.
They're being fun.
They're pulling a Kangaroo Jack with that.
They get a little
Focus
bit better.
on the humans way more than the interesting animal character. He's an animal. Yeah, he's a hedgehog.
Are you aware of like what the original Sonic design for the movie was supposed to be?
I remember, because I remember it coming out, and then I remember the internet bullying them into fixing it, which is kind of cool, honestly, that they listened.
Well, conspiracy theories that was all just a ploy to get hype around the movie.
I mean, it worked if it did.
Anyway, I don't know how anybody could have looked at that design and thought...
And been like, yeah, that's good work
because he looks like
there.
a tiny little rat. And he goes meow? He says that in the trailer whenever they reveal him.
I'm not really...
Because they're like, is he a cat?
Like, I remember this happening, but I'm not really...
Okay. Well, clearly...
It's not something I think about often.
Clearly, this is something I'm far more engaged with. So, yeah, I mean, it's all right. If you're 12 or under, you can go see it and have a good time. If you're older, I mean, manage your expectations.
You're into that thing. Yeah.
Manage your expectations. What did you watch?
Honestly, I didn't really watch a lot of movies over Christmas break, but one thing I did watch is this, I think it's from the 80s. It's called Earth Girls Are Easy.
Isn't Jeff Goldblum in this?
Jeff Goldblum is in this.
He plays like a furry little Grinch alien?
Kind of, yeah. It was a fever dream. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but it was so strange, but I kind of loved it. But it was really weird. Mm-hmm. And, like, it's a musical. I didn't know it was a musical going into it. And
it's a musical?
Yes. When the first song breaks out, it's so sudden that I was like, oh, it's okay, it's a musical. But then I feel like halfway through it forgets it's a musical because there's so many parts where I was like, oh, they're going to start singing here. And they didn't.
How many songs are in the movie?
Not that, like, three or four.
Three or four?
Not a lot.
That's not a good song to minute ratio.
Every time the songs happened, it was so unexpectedly. And then, like I said, there were so many points where I thought a song was going to start, and then it didn't.
So
the movie kept going.
What's the movie about?
The movie is about... What is the movie about?
I don't know. You brought it to talk.
It's about this... Okay, it's like Jeff Goldblum, Jim Carrey, and Damon Wayans play aliens, and they crash land in this girl's backyard, and she's been having relationship problems, so she kind of, like, takes in the aliens and, like, teaches, like, she helps them, because she's trying to get rid of their ship and, like, get them to go back. But,
are they trying to sleep with her?
Kind of. Like, yeah, the reason they come to Earth is because they see, like, a TV show with, like, hot women on it or something.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Honestly, I kind of want to make you, like... I might do it eventually
at some
for
point,
an episode,
yeah.
But, like, it's such a weird...
I do love weird shit.
I kind of loved it. Like, I was just like, what is going on? This is so strange. There's a lot of... Jim Carrey is, like, a blonde twink. Like, it's so weird. Like, he's so young. Jeff Goldblum's honestly, I mean, younger than... I think this might have been, like...
Yeah, it would have had to have been one of his first roles, yeah.
Gina Davis. I just think it's so funny because, like I said, it's like the musical numbers they do have, they go all, like, they are so intense, and, like, you would think this is going to be a full-blown musical. One of the songs is, like, there is no point for that song being there. Like, it has absolutely nothing to do with the plot. It's great. I kind of loved it. I feel like I'm not even doing it justice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, it's just so strange, but I loved it.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I mean, I'm looking at the poster right now, and it's
a strange movie.
It's weird. It looks weird.
It's a weird movie.
They look like Teletubbies.
Yeah, kind of. But then they do this, like, transformation. It's like, they're all hot guys now.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
We continue the Christina hot guy trend.
I guess so. I think I just shuffled my watch list, and, like, that's what came up, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll watch that. And it was a time.
Which one?
I guess, you know what? Jeff Goldblum does look good in it.
Yeah, which one's the hottest one?
Probably Jeff Goldblum. Although Jim Carrey had never, like, found particularly attractive or anything, but I was like, you know what? He looks good. So does Damon Wayans. They all look good. That's kind of the point. They're all supposed to look good.
How long do you think it took them to put all that makeup on? Like, that looks like that would have had to have been, like, 5 hours.
Like a few hours, yeah. But for a good chunk of the movie, they're themselves. But they're also...
Probably because it's cheaper, and they don't have to sit through 5 hours of makeup every day.
You know, part of the plot is that
I'm saying they probably...
They, like, give them haircuts.
That probably happened it's much easier to do that when they're actual actors and not...
Yeah, well, and also they look
people.
More
They look hotter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I like them when they're furry. They're pretty weird.
Some people would be into that, I'm sure.
Apparently, from what I've heard, but...
All right. Let's just move on here.
Let's get into it. Let's get into...
High School Musical.
High School Musical. Okay.
Do you want to announce that this is going to be your next, like...
Oh, yeah. So I was inspired by Tyson's John Carpenter-a-thon. If you were listening toward the end of 2024, he made me watch 3 John Carpenter movies. And I was just inspired. I was like, you know what? There's a trilogy that's very near and dear to my heart that I want to share.
Awesome.
And I'm talking about the High School Musical.
That's great.
Movies. So the next few episodes
this.
for me are going to be the High School Musical movies. High School Musical, you guys, if you've been listening, you can probably tell, like, I'm a pretty, like, I can get, like, obsessed with my favorite shows and movies and stuff. I, like, am such a fangirl. Like, High School Musical was, like, the start for me, okay?
Wow.
I remember when I first saw it, I was at my cousin's house, and they're like, hey, let's watch High School Musical. And I was like, what's High School Musical? And they're like, oh, you're really gonna like this. I was like 5 years old.
I'm about to blow your fucking mind.
And they were right. I had a High School Musical poster in my room. I had High School Musical pajamas. I had a Troy Bolton notebook. I owned all 3 movies on DVD, of course. I had a karaoke Wii sing-along game that I still have.
I bet it's a bad game.
We could play it sometime. It's great fun. I had this, like, book version of the second movie. I had a Gabriella Barbie doll. I had, what else did I have? Oh, I had this, like, bucket one year for Easter that I was, like, collecting my, like, egg, the egg hunt. Yeah, Easter egg hunt.
Easter egg basket? That's how far your fandom went?
Troy and Gabriella's faces on it. Hell
wow.
Yeah. I was obsessed by whatever year the third movie came out. I went and saw it for my birthday. I love High School Musical. Like, High School Musical was fundamental to my childhood.
It is crazy that this was, like, just a Disney Channel movie. And
yes,
then it's...
and we'll get into it.
it became...
Because it became
a
huge,
crazy...
like a phenomenon. Yes. Wow, jinx.
I said phenomena. You said phenomenon. I don't know what the correct version is. I just think the word phenomena is funnier because it's like, who says that?
Wouldn't phenomena be plural?
That might be the case. I don't know because I'm stupid.
Which I guess if you're saying the movies became a phenomenon.
Phenomena.
But I'm saying, like, High School Musical as a franchise was a phenomenon.
All right, 1 second. I got to get to the bottom of this. Phenomena.
What you really need is a phenomenon. A what?
That's great. What?
Do you know what I'm...
Yeah, I know. You're filling the silence with Chapel Roan.
Hell yeah. Love
plural noun. Phenomena.
I was right!
No, wait. I think phenomenon... Oh, no, wait. I don't know how to read, like, a dictionary input, actually. I think I discovered. Because it says plural noun, phenomena, but above it, it says phenomenon. So I don't know whether it's referring...
phenomena is plural.
Okay, that would make sense.
Good. So, High School Musical came out 2006, I think.
Hey, you can't start giving out facts. You hate when I give little, box office info. I do, but
I wanted to give... Most of the time, I don't care about all that. Well, there's no box office info for this, because it was released on Disney Channel.
But you care about it when it's a movie you're interested in.
You know who I do care about, though? Mr. Kenny Ortega, the director of this movie.
Give me information about Kenny Ortega.
Okay, Kenny Ortega, if you're not aware,
I'm not.
Probably most notably the High School Musical movies. Those were, like, all him. Okay. But he also did, more recently, the Descendants films. He did Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus is probably the biggest deal there.
Yes. And
besides High School Musical.
Other than that, he did a lot of choreographing.
Is there anything notable he did the choreography for that wasn't, like, a directing from him?
I want to fact check this before I say this.
Yeah, we better not be spreading false information on this highly educational podcast.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What do you mean he did the choreo for that?
Like, they have, like, that whole, like,
oh, I guess they do
scene.
have, like, the parade scene.
Yeah. Yeah, Pretty in Pink. Most notably, probably, Dirty Dancing.
What?
Yeah, Kenny Ortega also was mentored by Gene Kelly. Okay.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, no.
This is like deal. You're breaking my mind. Like, I
know. Why do you think I'm obsessed with him? Like, why? Like, every time like the choreography is good in these movies, I'm like, all praise Kenny Ortega.
There's a direct link between Gene Kelly to High School Musical, and that's insane.
Yeah, there really is, and it's Kenny Ortega. What a man, what a guy. And like, that's also just to the point we were making of like, he took like this Disney Channel movie, and by the third one, it was getting released in theaters.
What about this do you think was the thing that like made it good? Like, we'll get into like the plot and like what we thought about the movie, but like
what makes it so special?
What made High School Musical like pop off the way it did? Because I genuinely don't know.
I think compared to other Disney Channel movies at the time, I think that when you look at this concept, it's so simple. It's just a bunch of high schoolers, and they're like playing with the idea of like cliques in high school, and like who's in the jock group and the nerdy people and the theater people, and like it's like not like an overly unique idea versus like, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of like other high school movies at the time, like, or not high school, Disney Channel movies.
Yeah, I'm looking at Disney
Like-
Channel original movies now. I can listen.
And some of them are just like really big stretches, and like when you're working with like a Disney Channel budget too, if you're trying to do something high concept, like it doesn't work. Like it's not like, of course I think it'll serve the purpose of like entertaining kids, but like it's not going to make like the most solid film, you know?
We both grew up watching Disney Channel, I can only assume. And I can remember some of the ones because they used to come on all the time. Mm-hmm. I think the bar, and I'm not trying to shit on Disney Channel. Oh, I kind of am. You kind of
are. But I mean, I love, don't get me wrong, I love some Disney Channel movies, but
you pull up movies like The 13th Year, where that kid is turning into like a fish. He's like, he turns 13 and he starts turning into like a mermaid.
I don't remember that at
What
all.
if I told you The Luck of the Irish, where the kid starts turning into, it's Teen Wolf, but he's a leprechaun.
Yes, I don't think I ever watched that. I remember that like being a thing though.
It's just a lot of like,
I think that this is a really simple concept
movies.
with like strong characters. I think that's another thing, big thing. It's like, it's not like I mean, I guess in a way it's cookie cutter characters, but like,
I think
they're interesting and they're well don.
I think what works about this is that it's just, I'm not going to say this movie is amazing. I don't think it's like amazing.
Okay. I think it's amazing.
But I think it is generally much better than any of the other Disney Channel original movies I've seen. Mm-hmm. From my memory. I have not watched...
Yes.
Again, I've not seen fucking Cadet Kelly since, I don't know, like 2008.
I don't think I've ever even seen that
I didn't like that one too. I was like, Girl in the Army, click off.
Whoa!
That's not because of the... I don't know.
No, but yeah, I think it's a really simple I think it's very well done. I think Kenny Ortega, the choreography, the songs and the choreography really were going for it too, and I don't know. I mean, Kenny Ortega's choreo, but I don't know who did the songs, but...
I guess we can look into that.
It all came together
all right,
very well.
So let me just...
share your little factoids.
Can I give my facts, please? Thank you. Welcome to my little panel where I like to give a little bit of facts and information on the movies.
Boring.
I'm going to stretch this out because Christina hates it. All right, so this is directed by Kenny Ortega, as we've been talking about. Written by Peter Barsocchini. I don't think I pronounced that right. What else we got here? Composer? I guess this would have been the guy who wrote the song. Well, maybe not.
Do you usually have a
the composer, because there's some
maybe he did both. I don't know.
There's some general Disney whimsical backing music when they're walking around and bumbling around.
Yeah.
But the composer was David Lawrence. The budget, this is what I'm interested in, because this is a Disney Channel original movie.
Yes.
So what is the strategy? Just to get eyes onto Disney Channel?
Yeah, to get kids to tune in.
It's like if they were to release a movie onto streaming now. It's just to get people to
turn on the TV and watch it.
Anyway, the budget is $4.2 million, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
For
they
like
did
a
a
TV
good job
movie.
with it.
No, I think so too.
I think there were a few points too we could like. I think as people who can spot it, we were like, "Oh, I see what they did there to try and like make it work for them."
I don't think it's bad.
They filmed almost the entire thing at a high school in Utah,
which I've been to. I visited.
Yeah, which Tyson's like, "Have you been there?" And I was like, "Why would I have ever gone there?"
And then I was able to drop the fun fact. I'm not going to explain why. I'm not going to say how I was there, but I'm going to say I was there and I saw the whole thing.
To go on those sacred grounds.
Well, also, amazing location that a high school like that is.
That's a crazy... Wait, just on like a level of the high school... I mean, I guess we can get into it, but like the high school itself is like crazy nice.
Yeah, for context,
it's just a really nice high school.
It's like multiple levels. It's a giant building. There's a cafeteria that's like a giant... Like, it looks like a staircase, but like enlarged. It's hard to explain. Like, there's just like several tiers that you can walk up. It's crazy. I guess it's hard to describe in an audio medium without showing you guys pictures, but it's a very amazing... They got lucky with their location scouting. But this is supposed to take place in Arizona, not Utah.
No, New Mexico.
New Mexico?
Albuquerque,
New Mexico.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Do you think there's a... This is about the same time that, like, what? Breaking Bad was on? Do you think they...
Like around the same time.
Are you
suggesting that they exist
they take place in the same universe?
Like
they very
Walter
much
White's
could.
one of their teachers.
That would be crazy.
Jesse Pinkman went to high school with them. There is like some like, I guess they're not stoners. They're more like skateboarders.
Yeah, they are skateboarders.
Stoners. Do you think they know Jesse Pinkman? Crazy.
All right, so
the implications. I never thought of that before.
Final fact before we get into plot and our thoughts. In the U.S., High School Musical generated 7.7 million viewers in its premiere broadcast, breaking the then record for the highest premiere for the network. This is cited on Wikipedia. So that could be incorrect.
Okay.
What is that not? It broke records.
I mean, yeah, duh, it broke records. It's High School Musical.
Yeah. Okay, but at the time they didn't know it was High School Musical.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into
Whatever, let's get into it. Okay. So we start, and it's New Year's Eve. Another reason why I want to watch it. Happy New Year's, everyone.
Happy New Year's. Happy 2025. I'm glad we're all...
It's been off to a start, for sure.
Off to an amazing, great start across the country.
Everybody's doing great. And so are Troy and Gabriella. They don't know each other. Those are our two main characters.
No.
We got Troy Bolton. Wait, actually, can we take a minute to talk about...
Well, okay, we talk about what?
Troy Bolton. I always, played by Zac Efron, right?
Yep.
But this is, not Zac Efron as we know him today. This is, young,
This is, first...
I think he was still 18. I think he was 18, but,
okay.
He was very young. This is, the first iteration of Zac. This is, his breakout role. I loved, he was my first celebrity crush.
Of course.
Of course!
That's not a surprise to me.
No, it's not a surprise at all. He was such a cutie. And, little me was like, oh my god, Troy Bolton. But, I always say it's, when I think of my first celebrity crush, it's not Zac Efron, it's Troy Bolton.
It's Troy Bolton. It's him?
Yes, it's Troy Bolton.
You got to be careful with that now as you get older.
I'm not saying I'm not into that, but, it's one of those things where it's yeah, that was, a childhood, and, I look back, and I'm oh, yeah, he's a little cutie.
A lot of people probably were.
I'm sure I'm not alone.
He's got that wild 2006 shaggy bowl cut.
And then, in the third movie, he looks, especially good. I remember the third movie being whoa!
Well, he's probably around our age now by the third movie.
By the third movie, yeah. And then Gabriella Montez, I thought she was so cool.
Played by Vanessa Hudgens.
Probably the two biggest stars.
Yeah, I was about to say those are the two people that broke out from this and who weren't stuck in Disney Channel hell forever.
Well, okay, that's a little dramatic, but
what's the name of the girl that plays Sharpay?
Ashley Tisdale.
I mean, look.
I think she's
getting that bag.
Career.
I know. No, that's fair. I'm just saying.
Disney Channel hell seems a bit dramatic.
I'm not okay. I just mean she is safely employed by the Disney Corporation.
Yeah.
In their Disney Channel division.
I don't think she has a problem with that.
No. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Anyway, so we have Troy and Gabriella. They're vacationing at a ski lodge.
I guess. So what is this? Supposed to be a school trip to a ski lodge in high school?
No, it's winter break. So they both just happen to be there.
No, but there's a teacher there, right? Because he's playing basketball.
That's his mother.
Oh.
His mother and his father. He's playing basketball with his dad, who is also his coach. And then his mom's like, you're going to go to the teen party for New Year's. And then Gabriella's reading a book because she's not like other girls.
She's not like other girls.
And her mom's like, you're going to go to the teen party for New Year's. And Gabriella's like, no, I want to read. I'm not like other girls.
And Troy's like, I want to play basketball.
Whoa.
Oh boy, are they about to discover a secret part of themselves.
So they both go to the teen New Year's party.
It's not even 5 minutes in the movie. We're just getting straight into it. They're thrown up on the karaoke stage.
Karaoke comes on. They put spotlights on these two, and they're like, "You two, go sing!" And they're both like, "No, I don't sing. What? Me? I can."
And then the song starts, and they start singing perfectly.
Could be the start of something
and
new.
They're acting all shy.
This is the start of something new. That is what the song is called.
Yep.
And they are singing it. And Troy, after saying no, I don't sing, perfectly sings the song. Actually, another fun fact for you, I was waiting to share until we had this podcast. In this first movie, not Zac Efron's singing voice.
What do you mean it's not his singing voice?
So obviously Zac Efron's in the movie, but they dubbed him with this other actor named Drew Seeley.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's not singing in this first one.
It sounds like him.
In this first movie, it's not him. The other two are his real singing voice, but I think, at this point, I forget exactly the reasoning.
I was going to say, it sounds like it could have been, it probably was, professionally recorded and digitally, corrected, but I didn't think it was not him.
He only sings Efron himself singing the first and last few lines of Start of Something New and the beginning of Breaking Free, but the rest of it was Drew Seeley.
Why? Why didn't he do it? Is he not good?
It says, before Efron was cast, the role of Troy was written for a tenor, and Efron, who himself is a baritone, could not properly sing most of the parts.
And they didn't just want to change it?
So they got Drew Seeley. Yeah,
I guess
did Drew Seeley for the singing parts, who was another guy who auditioned for the role and didn't get it. But they used him for the singing.
Wow.
That would kind of suck.
I was about to say, you're doing all the hard work.
The way this launched Zac Efron's career.
Well, I mean, they're not... Okay, look. The acting is not... It's just because he kind of looks like a leading man. You know what I mean? I don't think his acting is particularly impressive, and I don't think his
it's a Disney Channel
yeah.
movie.
Well, no, exactly, but I don't think he was getting casted off of this for singing either, because he wasn't doing other musicals.
Right. Well, he did more musicals after High School Musical.
What other musical? Oh, he did Hairspray the musical.
Greatest Showman.
He was in Greatest Showman?
He was in The Greatest Showman.
Speaking of which, sorry, I just want to sidetrack real quickly. You know that movie Better Man by the guy who directed Greatest Showman?
The monkey one?
The monkey one where it's like monkey pop star Robbie Williams.
So stupid.
Apparently it's
sorry
amazing.
Sorry to all the Robbie Williams stands out there.
Apparently it's amazing. Like 5-star.
I don't care enough to find out.
I was about to say, because Robbie Williams is not he's like popular everywhere except the U.S.
Apparently, yeah.
Which is the one country where it matters. Kidding. I don't believe that. But
Tyson's winking at me right now.
I'm not. I love all countries equally.
Sure, whatever you say. But anyway, so back at the country club, so they have this magical song, and then they're like outside, and they're like, "Wow, like that was incredible!" Like
it's like I feel so electric.
Like,
it's like
I feel alive. Like, what's your name? Can I get your number? Like,
and then she walks away.
So then, yeah. Well, he does get her number.
Oh yeah, and they do I guess this is like a 2006
but like they're
thing.
like on a vacation, so like they don't actually know each other. Have you ever been on vacation? You make a vacation buddy, and then you never talk to them again.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Well, they do a 2006 thing where like they take each other's photos on each other's phones
like they
for
have
their
like
contacts.
They have like the keyboard.
I guess you could still do that now, but I'm not like if I'm getting a new contact from somebody, I'm not like, hey, take your photo.
Yeah, no. Don't do that.
I'll remember your name, hopefully.
So then after New Year's, we're back. School's back. We're at East High.
Yeah, East High.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay, so you think this is a public high school?
I feel like it has to.
It can't be.
It has to.
It can't be.
Private schools aren't that big.
I don't know, man. Look,
that has to be a public high school.
Nothing
about that says public school.
There was a
private school.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry. No, we had a.
Obviously,
I'm not gonna dox where I live, but I remember how my high school looked. And look, my high school was not a.
Did you go to public school or private school?
I went to public school, but like it didn't look like poor. I didn't.
No, I went to public school.
It was multiple. It was multiple
nice
buildings. It was probably decently funded. However, the private school in the area, dude, it was huge.
I don't think this is a private
It was humongous.
What private school is called East High School?
I don't know, man. But like, look, no public school is getting this amount of funding.
I think if they live in a high enough tax bracket area, why not?
Well, we'll also see later that Troy lives at a
nice house.
And his dad's the
high
coach
school basketball coach. Something's not adding up here.
And they have like a court in their backyard.
But I think this has to be a public school. I think it's just a really big, nice public school.
I just refuse to believe that. That doesn't. Maybe in 2006. Maybe back when dreams could still come true. I'm
trying to think. I'm like, okay, there is like one private school in the area that's like.
The private schools are just bigger because you get so much more money to a private school because they're paying to go there.
Yeah. I guess it could be. If it is a private school, it's not like an uber fancy private school. It's like an entry-level private school, you know?
What does that mean? They're not wearing uniforms. Like
some private schools are like really nice, and some private schools are just like a step above a public school. Mm-hmm. And like if this was a private school, I think it's just like a step above a public school. I don't think it's like a really fancy.
I'm just saying, like the upkeep to the. Imagine being a janitor here. You got so much ground to cover.
Me out. It's really big. It's a really big school.
Also, you got like footprints from all the choreo. You got to wipe up. You can't do anything ever.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
But okay, yeah. So Troy's back. He's captain the basketball team. He's like Mr. Cool Guy. By coincidence, Gabriella, apparently she's just moved there.
Wow.
Whoa, crazy coincidence.
And so
she's worried because she's saying like. She's really, like other girls, she's, like, super smart, and she says, like, oh, like, I've always been, like, the freaky genius girl, and, like, I don't want to be that, like, I just want to, like, settle in, and, like, I don't want people, like, I'm not going to get involved with anything yet, like, I just want to, like, try and find my footing to school. I guess I don't
draw any attention to myself.
Right. It doesn't clarify, but it sounds like she's moved around a lot, and her mom's promised that she can stay there through graduation.
Well, okay, that's nice.
That is nice, yeah. So...
Okay, but so what?
So Gabriella goes to homeroom, and guess who's in homeroom? Troy. Troy's like, oh my god, it's this girl that I saw that I sang with. But, like, they finally, when they end up talking, he's like, yeah, no, like, my friends, like, don't, like, that was, like, a one-time thing. Like, I don't sing.
Yeah, I don't sing.
I don't sing.
Despite my perfect singing voice, I don't sing.
She's like, oh, that's fine. Like, I wasn't really gonna, like, get involved with anything anyway. And this is when we meet, Sharpay.
Yeah.
my queen. I love Sharpay.
Who's
I will say
one of the popular characters from this.
she's like the queen theater club president, whatever. She's very dramatic. She's always wearing like pink sparkly outfits. I will say one thing I love with her is that in the first 2 movies, she's kind of like the villain. And then by the time you get to the 3rd movie, she's like not really a villain anymore. They just kind of have her having her own arc, which I love.
I was about to say, because it's like, I guess she would have to be the antagonist, besides maybe like his own personal insecurity with singing in public.
Yes, like if you had to pick an antagonist for this movie, it would probably be
It would
Sharpay.
have to be her, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that she has a really nice evolution, as we'll see as we go throughout the movies. But in this one, she, I guess, is kind of evil. She's like, you're not going to audition, are you?
She's just mean.
She's
and
like
a
the High
control
School
freak.
Musical that's coming up. Like, you can't. Like, I'm the star, actually. So, like, I have to be
Is the High School Musical ever actually named what it is?
It's like Tinseltown or something. It's like a made-up show.
That's no good. No one
It's
wants
not
to...
real. Which I also have questions about the plot of that, but I was going to wait.
We'll save it till we get into it.
So basically, Sharpay's like, why? Sharpay like is interested in Troy, and she's like, I don't know, like why he's talking to this new girl. Like they were looking at the audition signups. I don't like that. That's like some funny business right there.
That's my domain.
That is my domain. And so she like I don't even know. Like what does she do? She tells this other girl Taylor, who's like one of the nerds. She's in like that gang, like about like, oh, Gabriella is really smart. You should get her to be in the academic decathlon. Because Sharpay's like in the mind of like everybody needs to stay in their own box. Troy is a basketball guy. I'm a theater girl.
We'll get into that.
Gabriella needs to be with like the smart nerdy people. Like, yeah, well, don't worry.
Yeah, which is the core value we're trying to break away from.
Which is like basically what the movie's trying to be like. You don't have to fit in the box, but at this point, it's like everybody needs to fit in their box. So then at basketball practice, Troy's distracted by Gabriella.
Yeah,
and so they sing "Get Your Head in the Game."
Get your head in the game.
Classic basketball.
I remember this
number.
song being better. It's not that. It's not.
You didn't think it was that good?
No, I don't think it's. I mean, it's like it's. I mean, I guess it's iconic.
I like the part where they're all around him and it's like a spotlight. He's like, my head's in the game, but my heart's in the song.
Yeah, he like has like a quick little breakaway.
Feels so right. Should I go for it? And then they all start dancing around him. I also love the whole time too because his friends are like, Troy has a best friend whose name is Chad.
Yeah,
played by Corbin Blue.
Okay.
Chad is like also similar mindset of Sharpay of like everybody has their place.
Yeah,
like
we're
Troy
basketball
kind of
players.
Like, oh, like you know, like those auditions, and Chad's like, ew. Like, why are you even thinking about
he's
that,
like,
man?
couldn't we do it?
Weirdo?
Like, I think there might be giving out extra credit for it. I don't know. And he's like, extra credit? Whatever. We're basketball players.
Like, I don't even do my homework. He's like, ew. So, yeah, that happened. I just, get your head in the game's great. But then Troy decides he's going to just, like, check out, like, the auditions. Like, he's like, I just want to kind of, like, see.
Let's go ahead and get into this now. The amount of watching Troy or somebody else sneak around. There's so much.
It's very
there
Disney
has to be
Channel.
at least like 15 minutes of them like sneaking around, hiding behind podiums, making sure nobody's looking.
There's like a whole little thing where like Troy's trying to get to the audition, but Chad's following him, so he's like hiding and sneaking.
There's one part, I don't remember if this was here or later, where like his dad sees him and he gets behind a podium and he's like, he walks around, he's like, huh. And it's like, you clearly saw your son. You're not going to investigate that any more than just like a passing glance. There's one part
You're gonna bring, I was about to say.
where Gabriella hides in a bathroom.
I was literally about to say
behind a podium, and like from the camera's perspective, yeah, you can't see it.
She's hidden, but like Sharpay walks in, trying to find her. Sharpay would absolutely be able to see Gabriella. Like, and she's not hiding from her. She's hiding from the camera.
Ostrich in the sand rules.
Like,
you can't.
It's ridiculous. Sharpay would have seen. Gabriella would not have hidden. And then she has that look on her face where she's like, phew, that was a close one. And it's like, girl, like, what?
Why are we all hiding?
Sharpay should have seen you.
I guess because hiding is really the theme in the movie, that we're hiding our true self.
Exactly.
Also, is this movie about being gay?
You had that analysis when we were watching it.
Because it's like, it's so much of like, I gotta hide my true self, and your true self is musical theater. I'm not trying to say...
Are you saying musical theater is gay?
I'm just saying Sharpay has a brother.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that. Okay, we get to auditions, and Sharpay's auditioning with her brother. Her brother Ryan.
Look, they don't make a statement one way or the other in this movie.
In this movie, they will later.
But
there is no
very
heterosexual
obviously a
explanation
gay
for that
man.
That man is gay. Like, he is so gay. Like, he is wearing like a sparkly hat and doing jazz squares, and like, not to stereotype or anything.
No,
but that man is gay.
Look, yeah, like nothing wrong with it, but you're gay. Like the guy in Kangaroo Jack
face
doing
the
the
music.
the salon.
Right, exactly.
You're gay. It's
like,
okay. But it's like
gay.
but in like 2006 Disney Channel, the world was not ready for that.
Right. Well, and to be fair, in this movie, Ryan, there's no coupling for Ryan anyway. Like it's just like not
because they were intending for him to be gay and they just didn't want to say it. It's subtext.
Probably. But yeah, so we're at this audition. They sing What I've Been Looking For. And Sharpay and, like, there's this whole, like, little slew of funny auditions, which I actually thought was funny. You were
Okay,
also
no,
laughing.
I was actually surprised. I don't know, this is, like, uncharacteristic because this part of the movie is way funnier than the rest of the movie, in my opinion.
Think so?
I genuinely think the jokes in this movie are far better because it's just weird. They just get some bizarre people coming up on stage.
They do
like,
some funny stuff.
One guy just, like, dances on and then dances off.
Oh, yeah, he does, like, a beautiful pirouette, and then, like, Soda Shaw's off stage. It's gorgeous. And then they have, like, that one couple that's like, it's hard to believe that I couldn't see, and they're doing like this interpretive dance, and it's quite funny.
Yeah, no, there are genuinely some good jokes here.
What else? There's like a lot of bad singers.
But so then at the end,
then Ryan and Sharpay at the end are like, let's show everyone how it's done.
And so they do.
They're very upbeat. They have a whole choreography thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you shouldn't have done the jazz squares, and he's like, everybody loves jazz squares.
Ryan.
You
clapped. You were like, oh, look, he's doing the jazz squares.
I got excited. I was like, oh my god, he's doing jazz squares. That's for me. When he's like, everybody loves jazz squares, me. I love a good jazz square.
And so a little bit of a kerfuffle happens, but Zac Efron.
Part of the problem is that the girl who wrote the song, Kelsey, I guess she wrote the whole musical, which I'm like, I feel like that gets glazed over. I'm like, that's really impressive for a high schooler to write the entire show.
I bet it's bad.
That's crazy. Well, I guess my other question is like, so Sharpay and Ryan are twins. Then Troy and Gabriella, well, I guess they come out and at first they're like, can we audition? And Miss Darbus, the theater teacher's like, no, you're late. Sorry.
Yeah, we don't have to get into like the full...
Right. So then they go up and they just decide to sing it anyway, and they sing it like a much more like
slower version. The way she really intended it.
The way that she intended it. But like, here's my thing. What is this show about? And what roles are we auditioning for here? Because,
the lead.
You know, Troy and Gabriella...
The leads.
Well, yes, the leads, but, like, what relationship are they to each other? Because Troy and Gabriella, like, it's almost, like, flirty. And, like, Sharpay and Ryan are siblings. So
they're
I
siblings.
would hope they're not
they're
auditioning
acting.
to be, like...
If they have to kiss, it's acting.
But they're siblings.
I can't even think...
Twins.
I don't even think you could do that in a High School Musical. I'm trying to think. I've never seen a High School Musical where they kiss.
Oh, they would kiss at all, Ryan.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What kind of High School Musicals did your high school put on? Because I don't feel like I ever got good ones. What we
Bring It On, the musical?
I don't remember that. We did what? Annie, Get Your Gun? No good.
They did Chicago one year.
Chicago's intense.
Chicago's good.
There was
those are the only two I remember.
They got really ambitious and they tried to do a version of Hamlet.
For a musical?
Well, not a musical, but
for
just
a play.
Yeah.
They did Romeo and Juliet one year, and it was like they made it like at like a carnival.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is this supposed to be?
What is this supposed to be? Supposedly it's called Tinseltown, and Kelsey wrote it.
Nobody wants to see a musical written by a high schooler. I'm sorry. Like, it's just it can't be good.
What if it's good?
I doubt it is.
I just think that even if it's not good, I feel like that's impressive that she wrote an entire show.
It is impressive. It is impressive. However, if it's the first or within the first few she has written, it can't be that good.
Okay. I mean, I like this song.
Yeah, because it's written by professional people at Disney Channel.
But no, it's written by Kelsey.
All right.
Anyway, so Miss Darbus, she hears Troy and Gabriella sing, and she's like,
call back.
She's like, you guys get a call back.
You won me
also,
over.
at this point in the movie, we were like, you know what? Honestly, I think Sharpay and Ryan, I like their rendition better, personally, for this specific song. I think you were like, they're pretty even in my mind. Mm-hmm. So you know what? A callback's necessary.
They are about even, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, one's just fast, one's just slow. They're both good
right.
singers.
They're all good singers.
Because neither of them are going to be bad singers.
I would be
if they're the main
surprised
cast.
if this was like actually a musical audition, they would make them do like monologues or like read a scene or something.
Maybe it's like
also,
Hamilton.
Having a pair audition seems kind of weird. Like normally you would just
chemistry.
Go and sing. You would just go and audition.
When are these people gonna?
They would pair you up.
They gotta make these people do zip zap zop.
Bop like a mop.
What is that? I don't know. Is that a part of that?
Yeah.
No,
it's just bop like a. It's something like a mop.
What are you talking about?
You're talking about Bop to the Top.
No, I'm talking about Zip Zap Zop, the game, like the theater game.
Oh, well, they say Zip Zap Zop in the song.
Oh, do they?
Zip, zap, zop,
I wasn't even listening.
Anyway. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, I'm aware of Zip Zap Zop.
Okay, a little joke
Overrated
for
game.
musical theater people.
I like when I finally learned how to play it. I was like, "This is what you guys are all excited about."
You just kind of shout zip, and then the next person has to yell zap,
and the next person
that's
says
zap, and that's the game.
And that's theater kids for you.
This is why they're. Annoying.
I'm not trying to make fun of theater kids.
No, I am. I am.
You were one.
That is. Cut that out. Okay.
So the callback gets posted, and pandemonium breaks out because everyone's like, "What do you mean, Mr. Basketball Man and Smart Nerdy Girl are auditioning for the musical?
They're not musical people.
They can't do the musical.
They can't do that.
They can't be in theater. They have their own places." So everyone is freaking out.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is when we get to that cafeteria scene, where. Literally, it's like, as we were saying, you know, the whole point of the movie is supposed to be like, oh, you shouldn't fit into one box, like, do whatever makes you happy, like, you can be more than one thing. We have what I think, honestly, is probably, like, objectively one of the best musical numbers in the movie, Sticks to the Status Quo. And we have...
It is a pretty good song.
It's great. You have Troy's friend, Zeke, one of the guys on the basketball team. He reveals to his friends, guys, I love to bake. Baking's my passion. I want to make a perfect creme brulee. You have this, like, nerdy girl reveal to her friend. She's like, yeah, I love hip-hop. I love to pop and lock and jam and break. And then you have this skater boy tell his friends, I play the cello. It's like a giant violin. And the cafeteria just cannot hit. All these friend groups are telling their friends, stick to the status quo. Don't be doing your weird stuff. Stay in your lane. You want to bake. I think there was, like, one of my favorite Letterboxd reviews for this movie was, like, Zeke said he liked to bake, and his friends reacted like he shot JFK.
Yeah, no.
Like, everybody freaks out.
Are people not allowed to have hobbies? Like,
no! Apparently not. You have to, like, stay and do your own thing. This is, like, honestly, the whole, like, dance number for this with, like, everyone in the cafeteria dancing, it's good. I really like it.
No, I genuinely, and they make good use of the location because they have, like, a multi-tiered, like, it's like a stage.
It is. And you have Sharpay at the top, like, looking over the crowd like it's her kingdom, being like, this is not what I want, this is not what I planned.
Yeah.
And I just gotta say, I do not understand.
Is that what she says?
Those are the words she sings.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so then everybody's freaking out. Sharpay is trying to figure out what she's gonna do. Gabriella walks in and she's freaking out. She's like, why is everybody staring at me? Like, I don't understand why. This is so weird. Like,
yeah.
She's like, why is, like, leave me alone.
All right. So, like with most musicals we talk about on here, there are certain songs which are,
God.
I'm just saying, okay, because it's important to ask this question.
What's in universe and what isn't?
Yeah, what's in universe? There are certain songs they sing where they're singing because they're auditioning for a musical or they're preparing for a musical. And then there are other songs people sing because it's a musical in real life and the audience has to have a certain amount of songs. So, at the end of this number, Gabriella spills, like, fucking pasta or something.
And, like, spills her lunch on Sharpay.
On Sharpay.
He's like, she's doing this on purpose. She's trying to ruin my life.
Okay, and if I remember correctly, that's because of, like, things getting kicked around and the chaos of having
food on the floor.
Yeah, the chaos of a musical number happening in the cafeteria. So, like, how did that happen in real life if it's not... Listen, all I'm just saying is you can't have plot points happen during a musical...
I feel like there being some, like, milk on the floor in a school cafeteria is not that crazy. Like, I feel like that could have happened outside of the song.
Well, people need to not be animals, and they need to not... they gotta pick up after themselves.
I agree.
Anyway, so I guess this song is out of universe because everybody hates the fact that Troy sings.
I suppose so. So at this point, all their friends are, like, freaking out. Like, Chad's like, dude, you're crazy. You cannot be doing this. And Troy's like, it's not that big of a deal. And Chad's like, yes, it is. Meanwhile, you have Gabriella having the same basic conversation with her friend. Her friend's like, you, like... Also, they're trying to, like, split them apart, kind of. They're like, these two... Because,
look...
One's a jock and one's a nerd.
Neither one of them...
can't be together. What are they doing?
Neither one of them wanted to sing until they met each other. So something wonky's going on here.
They can't be together. We gotta put an end to this.
We gotta stop this.
So they, being horrible, horrible friends, basically concoct this plan to get Troy, like... I guess... Okay, so they have, like, this big game coming up. They want to get Troy all riled up before the big game to, like, make him... Like, basically his teammates, like, make him upset so that he's like,
okay,
I don't care about Gabriella. I don't care about the singing. I'm just here to play basketball. Like, I'm here for you guys. You're my teammates. Blah, blah, blah. Go ahead.
This plan, are you going to get into the specifics of the plan?
Yeah, I was going to share the Gabriella side of it.
Okay. The amount of things that needed to line up for this to work, insane.
Really perfectly, yeah.
This is the most convoluted plan in the history of plans.
But it works.
You're gonna... Okay, I'll just go ahead and say what it is.
Yeah.
So they're basically like, we're gonna get Troy to say some stuff that just to like, I guess either calm us down or like in the heat of the moment stuff he doesn't mean. And then we're gonna, in 2006, live stream this footage of him saying it to
Gabriella.
Across the school to Gabriella in the science classroom.
Yeah, the science classroom. All the science nerds are all there, and they're like, Gabriella, like, you, like, he's stupid basketball man, and like, you're what, gonna sing some songs together? That's so stupid.
Yeah. And then they're gonna manage to get her to look at this footage at the exact time that he does
Troy
it.
Being like, I don't care about her. I don't care about singing. And she's watching him say this, like, live stream.
How did you know, one, that he was gonna say something that was gonna be construed in like a negative way by her? 2, how are you gonna know the exact time in which to look at the computer when he says it?
Well, they plan that out.
But you can't plan out when he's gonna...
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming he was probably, like, showing up for practice. So they probably had, like, the time figured out. It was probably after school.
I'm just saying, you try to pull this plan off in real life, it'd never work. It would never fly.
Right. But good thing it's High School Musical and not real life. So Troy gets filmed without his consent saying all this stuff.
Yeah, and then Gabriella sees it.
Very sad.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, man.
And they're like...
And they've been, like, rehearsing and stuff.
And they're like, sorry to break it to you, but we were right.
Yeah, and so her friends are like, damn, that sucks. You want to go get lunch?
And it's like, no.
Gabriella's like,
you were
really
being a bitch.
Sad.
You were horrible friends. I don't want to get lunch with you.
No, yeah, so Gabriella's honestly just, like, crying. She's really sad. She sings a song.
And they're like, wow, that sucks for you.
When There Was Me and You, you said this song was boring.
Okay, yeah, this is kind of just like a whatever.
Your
sad songs in a musical where, like,
you gotta have the one. I will say, when I was a kid, this is another, just mark of how much I loved High School Musical. I had my little, like, purple iPod Shuffle, and I basically had, like, a few Taylor Swift songs on there, and then the whole High School Musical soundtrack, and I would love to put this song on and, like, look out the window, like, dramatically, and be like, wow, like, so deep, so sad.
So deep, so sad. I actually have a quick little story, because you said tiny little purple...
My tiny purple iPod Shuffle.
I didn't have this. I won a tiny little orange MP3 player from one of those stack 'em, like, arcade games where you hit the block and it gets to the top.
That's crazy.
And you win something. And I was like, I don't know, like 7 or 8. So of course I didn't know how to load MP3s onto this MP3 player. And it had 2 songs loaded up onto it. And I can't remember what the other one was, but one of them was Barbie Girl. And then it also had an image of a bumblebee in the photo section.
Wow.
And I didn't know how to add anything to it, so I just walked around and I just listened to the one song and then Barbie Girl on repeat.
That's really funny.
Because I didn't know what else to do with it, and I was like, I guess this is what people with MP3 players do.
That's me. Wow. I mean, yeah, kind of, I guess. I had the High School Musical soundtrack and a few Taylor Swift songs.
And I had Barbie Girl.
Wow, look at us.
That's
look where that led us now.
That's like something that like Greg Heffley would get into.
That is, that's very Diary of a Wimpy Kid energy. That's so true.
Okay.
And I feel like he'd be aware that wasn't what you were supposed to do, but he wouldn't know how to fix it, and like he would just like want to try and look cool, so he'd go with it anyway. And then someone would like see that he was listening to Barbie Girl, and he'd be like, no, that's not the song I was listening to.
I did tell someone I had I'm a Bee by, who is that by? Like,
Black Eyed Peas, right?
Yeah, well, I guess the Black Eyed Peas. And I told somebody that was on there, and I was listening to it. That was
like the song you were listening to?
I wasn't listening to anything at the moment, but I was just like, no,
it's I'm a Bee.
You know, hit band Black Eyed Peas.
Our favorite. One of our favorites.
Of course.
So now Gabriella's depressed, and so she runs into him again, and she's like, it's fine. Like, you don't want to do it. Like, I won't do it. Like,
it's all right.
This was never meant to
Music
be.
fucking sucks.
Like,
I hate singing.
And Troy's confused because, like we said, he didn't know he was being filmed. So he's like, wait, where's this coming from? Like, I want to do it with you. I like singing. I like to hang out with you. And she's like, it's fine. Like, you go do your basketball and I'll go do my smart people stuff.
Let's all go stay in our lanes.
We don't need to mix up anymore. So then time goes, I don't know how much time passes, but time passes.
And they're basically like,
Troy and Gabriella are both like depressed. Like, they're both like obviously very sad that they're not doing it. And their friends are like, we messed up. Like we didn't mean to make our
And
friends
so
depressed.
Troy goes up to his secret little hiding spot on the roof. Again, a roof botanical garden on a public high school?
High school.
What are you talking about?
It's a garden. He says it's like the gardening club.
That's not... Did your high school have a gardening club? There's also a fucking...
I don't think so.
There's a
but
garage.
I feel like that's not, like, out of the realm of...
They work on cars in the high school.
There is a garage. That is kind of crazy.
I'm just saying, like, when...
What private school has a garage, though?
I feel like it's so much more likely for a... I haven't seen this, but I'm saying...
They had one in Glee... No,
where are they getting the cars?
The dad had a garage shop.
What public school
has like a garage
in this age is getting funding that they can get like junk cars to work on? Yeah, it would be a cool art. We had like a shop class in high school or like a technology class.
I mean, they had like a shop class at my high school, and then like we had like an engineering class, but we didn't have like. There was like a robotics club.
Oh wait, no, that was middle school, and they let us use jigsaws. That was kind of crazy. Letting a 6th grader use a jigsaw?
Oh, wow. No, that is. No, we had shop in high school. I didn't
take shop.
I didn't take it. I did take like the engineering class. Well, I took engineering class senior year and then COVID hit and then I never finished it. But
you can tell by my hands, these hands were made to podcast, not to do hard work. Okay, so they go up to him on his private little botanical garden hideaway.
Zeke bakes some cookies.
And they're like, hey, so we filmed you without your consent.
They're like, we're really sorry. Like, and then they come around and apologize. We're like, listen, like, if this singing thing makes you happy, like we were being shitty friends. We should support you. We want you to do this.
Okay, you still fucked up my relationship with this girl.
Yeah, no, he's like, well, that's great, but Gabriella won't talk to me, so like, I can't even do it. Like, thanks though. But they're like, no, you should go fix this. Like, we want to support you. So then,
yeah, you should go fix this.
I mean, they apologize for their part, but. And then Taylor goes to Gabriella and like explains to her like Chad knew he could get Troy riled up and like make him super upset and whatever. And Gabriella is like, Troy said those things. No one made him say that, which like to her point, yeah, like that's true. Like no one forced him to say anything. So she's like, no, I'm still mad at him. Then Troy, he goes to her house.
It's like Romeo and Juliet.
There's like, she's like on the balcony and he sings a little a cappella start of
Yeah, he manages to climb up to... Oh, yeah, we were sitting with our roommate, Bailey, and she was like, is this like Scream? It's like her and like her little 2000s...
calling her.
2000s pajama suit, and it's like, he's on the number, he's like, look out your balcony. And then he's out there, and he's like... Oh, man.
This could be the start.
Do they sing that here?
He sings that a cappella, because then he finishes it, he's like, the start of something, and he goes, new... And he's like, please, Gabriella, do this.
Yeah, okay. Well, in hindsight, they probably took that little breath because they were switching from the singer to him. Guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow. So they get back together. They're like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to audition. So then they start rehearsing with Kelsey, and they're like all excited. You know, they're like getting back into it. Their friends are being supportive. They're both still doing like the basketball and the academic stuff, but like it's okay. Like it's fine. It's gonna be okay. There is one part where like Troy misses basketball practice and his dad gets pissed at him, and then Gabriella shows up and his dad is so rude to Gabriella.
Well, okay, look, he's like, God, he's just a girl, Dad, and he's like, no, leave. Well,
he's like, this is a closed practice.
From the dad's perspective, so this dad, by the way, has been like all like, do basketball, man. There's going to be scouters at the game. They're going to be, or recruiters, I mean. And you're going to get a scholarship in a college.
Right.
Which, I mean,
and
fair enough.
Troy even opens up to Gabriella at one point where he's like, everybody sees me as the basketball guy, and everybody's so proud of me because everybody thinks I'm going to like get a scholarship and like I'm just going to play basketball. And that's great. But like, what if I want to do more than just play basketball?
Which is fine. However, in this specific circumstance where he was late to practice, and then his dad comes in, he's in practice, and he's supposed to be doing, like, punishment, like, free throws, because he missed practice. And his dad checks in on him, and Gabriella's there, and they're, like, hugging each other.
Let's shoot some free throws. Oh, my God, I just hit the mic.
I hope that sounded okay. I'm sorry for the listeners that we hurt their ears.
So sorry if that blew your eardrum out.
It's like, the dad, from his perspective, thinks you've been just fucking around with this girl instead of practicing.
Right.
Which is fair enough. Fair enough that you would get mad at that. Like, he's like, I can't believe my dad wouldn't love me if I was singing. And it's like, no, I think your dad just thinks you're
messing around with this girl when you're supposed to be at basketball practice.
Set this boy straight.
So, as Troy and Gabriella are rehearsing, this is what we mentioned earlier. Sharpay's like sneaking around spying on them. Sharpay and Ryan are like trying to like scope out the competition. They're like, we need to get the lead roles. And they start getting nervous because they're like, they're really good. Like, they sound really good. So they're like, what are we going to do to like make sure that we can like ensure our lead roles? So they concoct a little plan.
Oh, another plan.
They decide to move the callbacks to the same day as the big game and the academic decathlon. So all three of these events are happening at the same time. Oh no, what are they going to do? So there's like a big panic because everyone's like, what are we going to do? But everybody comes together. Everybody, the academic team and the basketball team, they come together and they're like, we're going to stand behind Troy and Gabriella. We're going to make sure that they can come to our events and go to the callbacks because we support them.
Another crazy convoluted fucking plan they do here. They managed to short out the board for the scoreboard for the basketball game, and they're like, okay, we got to leave the gymnasium.
Yeah, they like basically they mess with the power and like the scoreboard's blinking and the lights are going on.
In that time, in which case the coach would probably want to keep an eye on all his players since there's chaos now.
I'll say while this is happening, so you have the callbacks in the game and the academic decathlon happening at the same time. So the callbacks, Sharpay and Ryan are singing "Bop to the Top." Mm-hmm. Iconic, great, fantastic, love it. Good song. I like how it's like for some reason Latin influence. Well, yeah, like
the beat is Latin, so I understand that aspect of it. However, none of the lyrics, all the lyrics in all of these songs. Now that you're thinking about it, no, I'm saying like
no apparent reason. There's like the two whitest people ever. Like,
so nothing in the lyrics would imply, I don't know, some kind of Spanish influence. But the greater issue here is that all of the songs are the most vague. Nothing, like, all these songs are like...
What? That's what I'm saying is, like, what is the plot of
That's
this
exactly.
show? Like, how does Bop to the Top connect to Breaking Free, connect to... I feel like Breaking Free and what I've been looking for, I'm like, okay, I could see that existing.
But they're all just so generic that it could be anything.
Yes.
It's like, I love being together, we're going to break free from we're going to be ambitious and get to the top. It's like... What?
What's the show about? Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying that she could not have written a good musical. She has no life experience.
These are good songs. But I will say, we were talking about this too. Whenever Bop to the Top reminds me of like that the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody episode where they like did High School Musical and there was like the whole bit with Ashley Tisdale. Which like, everybody says they look just like Sharpay. And they're like, no, I don't see it.
And they do a version of Bop to the Top in that. Episode. And I think
London gets the role of Sharpay, but then Ashley Tisdale has to like actually sing it.
If you haven't seen Zack and Cody, this means nothing to you. But I conflated their performance.
That's the only thing I remember the episode.
I conflated their performance in this with that Zack and Cody episode.
That's funny. Oh, someone sings a song about floss at the audition for that. That's the only other thing I remember.
All right,
the hit musical Floss or something.
All right.
Anyway, back to this movie. Bop to the Top's happening. Yeah, from the academic decathlon, they like mess up the scoreboard, and then they like set off like a stink bomb, I guess.
Yeah,
like
basically everything works out.
So
and
everybody
they're able
has to like
go
evacuate, basically.
And they're able to sing Soarin'.
So, Breaking Free.
This is probably one of the best songs.
This is honestly, you know what? Like we said earlier, the initial auditions were like they're kind of even. Mm-hmm. This round, I was like, love Bop to the Top, but Breaking Free it's that song.
It's great.
You know, it's like the song for the movie. I don't know about that, but it's a great song. They do a great job.
I mean, I'm saying probably the most iconic song in the movie is the encore. We're all on this together.
Yes, probably. But Breaking Free is probably a close second.
Yeah.
It's great. They kill it. They do a great job. They get the roles. Troy wins the basketball game.
Literally everything works out for them.
Team wins. So then at the end, they sing "We're All in This Together" because, you know, they all realize that they're special in their own way, but together is where they belong, you know? They can all be friends, but they can all do different things.
But as long as they come together as a team and you get your head in the game.
Right. Wildcats, get your head in the game.
Yeah.
W-R-L-D.
All right. Some choreo moments I liked.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
I like when they use the basketballs, and I forgot to mention this, so I'm just going to go through some parts.
Okay.
I like when they use the basketballs and get your head in the game as like the beat. You know, clever.
Yeah. Oh, you like that?
Yeah, they do.
I feel like I do like that too, but I feel like that's like a kind of a gimmicky thing that people like whenever people do that kind of like stomp type thing.
No, I agree. I don't really love the song, but I do like that aspect of it.
I like the shoe squeak. I feel like that's nice. Than just doing the basketball.
I do think the only song where this wasn't really a problem was We're All in This Together. That's probably because that was probably one of the last things they filmed. But I feel like you don't really they don't hold on the shots long enough to really respect the choreo in a lot of it. I feel like. Get Your Head in the Game, which I understand why, because it must be really difficult to time the balls. And in fact, I'm sure they switched out the balls for like not real balls at one point, like digital balls. But like I remember specifically during Stick to the Status Quo, you have such a large cast of like
that's
dancers.
What I'm saying. I'm like, that's honestly like
which is very impressive.
Scene.
But you're not. I feel like we didn't really ever hold on it to watch all of it, because the reason why people like dance numbers is because you can just like look at it and see it all. Mm-hmm. But when you're cutting to close-ups, I don't know, it just kind of like feels a little cheated.
Interesting.
From seeing the real thing. Anyway, that's what I think. So I'm glad they all got what they wanted in the end.
Pretty much, yeah.
Except,
Sharpay and Ryan are understudies.
Yeah.
And they're nice about it. They're like, good job, you know. What are we going to do?
They pose no real threat.
Zeke bakes some cookies for Sharpay. He tries to flirt with her earlier in the movie. And she's like, she says a really great line, actually. She goes, evaporate, tall person. And then she eats the cookies and she's like, oh my God, these are the best cookies I've ever eaten. He's like, I'll make you creme brulee, which is great. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said. Okay, and I will say too, I don't think I mentioned this yet in this episode. I know I've said it to you, but my personal belief is that these movies get better as they go along. Like,
I would agree from my memory.
And that's not to say that this is, like, bad. I think this is a solid movie.
I'm just saying,
it's the OG. You gotta respect it. It's none of the other ones would exist without this. This laid the foundation. I personally think they get better as they go, and the third one's my favorite. I will say, any of them could be anyone's favorite, and I don't think there's a wrong answer. But I think you might like the second one best.
From my memory, that is the case. But again, I haven't seen any of these in like at least a decade. But from what I remember, the filmmaking also gets better in general.
Yes. Well, when you think about it, the third one, they got that like theatrical budget.
Yeah, I know.
They were able to go a little
But they
bigger.
look better. I mean, the movie looks okay. It was shot on film, you can tell. But it looks fine.
Yeah.
It's not really impressive. Yeah.
Very 2000s fashion.
Yeah, very 2000s fashion.
Yeah.
People wearing... Oh my God.
I also love that Chad it's like one of those like high school movie tropes where like he just always has a basketball that he's just carrying around. And
exactly.
It's like, why? Like, why are you just carrying that with you everywhere?
They tried to replicate this several times with Camp Rock and Lemonade Mouth
I did like Lemonade Mouth.
I like Lemonade Mouth.
I was never a big Camp Rock
I'm not
person.
a Camp Rock person. I
won't say I disliked it. I really only saw it like once or twice and I was like, eh.
I haven't seen them, but I guarantee you that's also because they're just worse films. Like from a script perspective.
Probably, yeah. That's why I think like this is like overall like story-wise it's really simple and it does it well, you know?
Exactly. So I guess that's it for this.
For this first High School Musical. Tyson, what are we gonna watch?
Okay, so we say that because we already watched it, but
we watched the next movie.
We're gonna do this, and then for next week we're gonna talk about Nosferatu, which is not gonna be like a brand new movie by the time it comes out, but
it'll still be
but I mean new within a month.
Only like a month, yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have to just wait for our thoughts on that because we've already seen it. So we can't act like we haven't seen it.
Yes,
that would be lying.
We did. We already saw. We got ahead with the watching, and now we're catching up with the recording of the podcast.
So, you'll have to just see what Christina thought of it. You guys can probably guess as me as a little freak what I thought about it. I liked it.
I'll save my thoughts for now.
You'll save your thoughts, but I guess that's it for the podcast.
I suppose so. First one of the year.
First one of the year. Yay!
Let's go!
All right, so let's wrap us out of here. So. Thank you to Ronan Lilly for the edit, Justin Hickland for our theme, Bailey Johnson for our logo. If you want to catch us anywhere, you can connect with us at shutupandwatchpod@gmail.com. Shut Up and Watch on Letterboxd, but then the rest, anything other social media platform, Instagram, TikTok, you can catch us at Shut Up and Watch Pod. In our Instagram and stuff, you can find a link tree. Anything you could possibly need is there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube if you have not. That's also Shut Up and Watch Pod. You can catch our podcasts there.
Yes, you can.
If you like to use YouTube, which a lot of people do.
Oh, yeah.
If you leave a review for the show, guess what? I'll read it out. Let's go ahead and take a little check and see if anybody's left a review. I probably should do this before we do the podcast, but no review currently, but the offer still stands. If you leave a review or a YouTube comment, I'll read it out on the podcast. Checking our email. Yep, no messages. So, Christina.
Yeah.
Did you know if you share this podcast with somebody you think might like it, you can rest easy knowing with the fact that we're all in this together?
That's so nice. That's a nice sentiment.
It's a nice sentiment.
So are you saying if you don't share it, then we're not in this together?
No. We're not in this together if you don't share it. In fact, I hate you.
Bop on out of here.
Yeah, you can bop on the fuck out of this podcast area.
Bop to the top of a building and...
What? No, I'm not telling them to kill themselves.
I'm not either.
What do you... What? Go to the top of the building and what? Sit?
And
no.
Contemplate your life.
Contemplate your life. Okay. All right. Catch you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.